I know these akamas, or the Japanese farming tool scythe. I put duct tape on them so you can see them a little better. You still can't really see them this way, so I'm going to keep them sideways. Now, there was a guy, I can't remember his name, but it was similar to another Hebrew practicer that made a made a book about it in Renaissance. But he wasn't really into just teaching. He was wanting to keep it alive forever and stuff. Now, one of the guards that I know of, and I never really practiced this, but I watched a few videos and did a little bit of research onto it. You take your hand, you go like this. You hold the scythe. Now, this one has a whole shaft and stuff, but medieval ones, they had a grip, and then the scythe would curve this way. You hold it, or if it was just a handle, and everything else was a blade, but this one you have to hold it at the base. You hold it down here. Your hand is now ready to grab another person's arm that has a scythe, like this. You come in, they probably grab your arm, and you go back and forth. Now, you can take another scythe, not the combo in this case, and take it, hold it this way. Now what you could do is you could come up with this one and grip the arm or the other scythe, hold it around, and you can come in with your scythe, your secondary. This can kind of be used with an axe too. I wouldn't recommend it using just an axe. I barely recommend just using a scythe, but like certain scythes you can make a scythe just meant for wielding, and you could put knuckle bows, maybe even a crossguard of some kind. It comes out here, curves upwards, and you can make the knuckle bow the other part of the guard, and that will allow you to catch blades without having to worry about your hand. There's normal scythes which curve like this, like your regular farming scythes that you see in US and other places like Europe, with a long blade that curves. One of the videos he talked about making the edge up here. Now that would be useful, not on these. These are not really useful to do false edge cuts. You don't really need to do that with commas, but regular ones, the curve, you're going to do a false edge cut in that really wide, steep curve. You could also catch and have an edge on the inside, so you could kind of control people. False edge cut will come in handy when you have no room to use the front end or the main end. And if you do a crossguard comes out here, knuckle bow, your hand's pretty much protected. You could do a basket, in my opinion. I agree with Sickle Guards did a video on it. He's like, actually, this would make most sense putting a basket hill on it. Makes sense. I agree with him. I still believe there should be a crossguard right here. It comes up, so you can catch it. You can't really control it, but you can at least catch it, and they can't get it out so easily. Now, I don't know if that would be useful. I'm not really willing to put nails into these, or any type of metal into these. Yeah, destroy them, even though they were pretty cheap. It's a cold steel commas. If you couldn't tell, they had like these ribs on them, kind of like as a wave formation. I hate them because they're terrible practice ones, because they hurt as hell if you actually hit someone with them. And it doesn't hurt as much with the duct tape on there, because the points are kind of covered, but it really hurts. Not really. I have kind of a high pain tolerance, but if I get like a friend over here and they see this comma, and I'm like, I want to hit with these, and they have no gear because I can't afford gear, they can't afford gear, and they don't even know anything about HEMA, they don't even know where to find gear. I don't even know where to find gear. But I hit them like this, they're like all scared, because it's got this weird, actual, good-looking edge, and it comes at points. A regular comma just has a straight-on edge. It doesn't normally curve like that, but these ones do. Kind of easier to grip and control stuff like this, because it has a curve. And the little waves actually allow you to catch it inside the little wave and control it a little better. I still don't like it, because I've been hit with these. They hurt, and they kind of dig into your skin. And if you're a wuss, you may cry. But then there's another guard where you can take your scythe or something and have it at like high point. Have it up here. Or you can take your scythe, comma in this case. I have it in like change guard or side guard. Now, I don't like that because you have all this room open. So what I would do is have like this, close guard or change guard. I can't really show you that well, but I'll have one like here, close guard or change guard, side guard. This will be changed, this will be side, this will be fools, having it lay on your leg. They'll also have one out here. So in this case, since I'm facing this way, I'll have one here, but I would have to turn my hips and you won't be able to see how I would have it. I would always have one out so they're somewhat out of bay, but these are real short. Your arms are not that long, so they're not going to be that, and if they have a longer weapon, you can't really do nothing. I don't like size. I honestly don't. I think they're way too short of a weapon. They're shorter than daggers. They have a very weird way to using them. You can't really guard much, especially if you don't have like the basket hilt and the cross guard that comes up there to protect your other part of your hand. And with the basket hilt, at least your whole hand is covered, and you can still put a cross guard coming up at the rear, a little pin or nail or whatever. I don't like them. They're way too short. Especially kamas. I don't like kamas. Like, in Japan, they would put iron chains on them with a weight at the end, which really wasn't that heavy, so wouldn't do that much. Now, unarmored opponent, yeah, it hurt. It bashed in someone's skull probably if you get enough weight against it. But they're real short. I don't like how short they are. I know I'm saying this a lot. It just, even with just using a short sword, you're kind of outmatched. Like this, one of my of Gladius. And it's utter crap. I had to sand down the grip, and it's still, look how square that is. That is just absolutely square. It was terrible because all you had was these weird finger grooves, and it was like, that was painful, and it's still so square. So I have a wide grip on this, but look at this. Look at how big this is compared to the Gladius. Is so much longer. And I don't know if it's late period Gladius. I don't pay attention to Romans. Not really Roman. They're kind of just Italian, but Roman. But this is a lot shorter, and I guess you could get a longer one. War scythes were a thing. People actually did take farming scythes and put them on top of pole arms, but they weren't going this way. They were going straight up, like this. Take the war scythe, curve upwards, straight up. That was way more effective than something like this, because like a one-handed version, yeah, that makes sense. I can do that with a combo. But a two-handed version, what are you going to do with it? You can't, unless you put a false edge up here, so you can attack this way. You're kind of just stuck attacking this way. And farming size, two-handed farming size has a real extreme curve. If you ever really poked into someone, it's real hard to take that out. Like, especially if they're armored and have clothes and stuff on. That's why spikes going against plate armor, you never really take the spike and just hit them in the chest cavity like this. You actually would aim for their joints. You break their joints and you're able to get it out really easily. If you aim for the plate, now you just lost your weapon. You have no warhammer or no war pick or no axe with a spike attached to it. It's kind of stupid. People would do that. Like, there's videos out there of people taking pickaxes and chopping right into the middle of the plate. If I had a pickaxe, I would aim for the joints, to be honest. They're a lot thinner metal there, if any, and you attack the insides, there's like only chain metal. If it's a later period of plate. Like plate metal. So you attack there, you're more likely to break the chain if it's a good one and it's sturdy. But you don't attack for the chest because now you're on a weapon. Again, sorry for this going so long. Ramble a lot. I don't mean to. It just happens. But that's pretty much all I know on size. I didn't really look into it because I think they're stupid. But I can see why people want to learn them or be cool and be like, I'm a rogue and I use commas or I use a farming scythe or something like that. Thank you. I'll see you again when I come across and make a video for the next card. See ya.